Behold,
Good morning, Dr. Brad. Ooh, I don't have enough light.
it's Kurt Doolittle, the absolute misnomer of the century
Hmm,
for a man who has not done little.
professor in my.
What's that?
I just thought it was funny that I was a professor in. No, there was a professor in. I think it was freshman or sophomore year, and he said, "Well, your," he says, "your name doesn't exactly suit you," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's a great name if you want to learn how to fight."
Right? So Johnny Cash song, right? A boy called Susan or something like that.
Yeah. No, it's just like that, right? Just because the problem was the movie came out when I was, I don't know, in fourth or third, somewhere in there. And it was just, it was like, and you can't let that shit spread, right? I mean, the minute
To put that down immediately.
you have to put it down immediately. I'm I'm the shortest guy, shortest guy in my class, right? Just about. There's one or two guys shorter than me. So you can't let that happen.
You have to make up for it in wicked meanness.
It's more that the first hint,
Ding!
and you have to go all in.
It's Irish style. I was watching this.
I would run at every possible opportunity or avoid it or whatever. But I mean, if it's coming,
Hit it.
the big mistake I see today between guys,
Mm.
is they don't go all in.
Mm.
And you've got to go all in. If you're going to start something, you go for blood. You don't go for break contact. Because we've ritualized fighting too much in the West. We don't really realize that the dual ritualized are fighting quite a bit. So anyway,
that was good advice.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I have a bunch of chipped teeth.
Oh,
Because from all the fights I was in, and it's like at the time it just seemed normal. That's just how life is. That's how guys are. It was part of being a kid. Parents didn't think it was out of line. Guys can't do that today.
it's too feminized.
Well, you can't even do it ritualistically. Like, I mean, if you're basically wrestling each other, right? Push each other to the ground or whatever, nobody's really gonna get hurt. Right? Even if you're punching each other, nobody's really gonna get hurt. The minute you get to what we call enning, we call it enning today. I won't use the N word. Well, you're kicking somebody when they're down. That's when people get hurt. You shouldn't be using, and so I mean, I'm like, let boys fight. Just, the duel is okay. The murder is not.
In case anybody asks. Lord help us.
You don't, because I can't, I know this from so much life experiences. Like for some reason, the toughest guy in school, Bobby, and we lived about a quarter mile apart, maybe a half mile apart, right? And so we run into each other all the time. And it just was one of those things where we were in enough fights that it became almost a friendship. And it was, what?
Put them up. Let's go.
Well, it was like I knew I was gonna lose, but I wouldn't lose bad, right? And his thing is he just wanted to show dominance all the time, everywhere. And to the point where if he thought you were friendly, he would react with violence. Because it was the only way he knew how to reach.
I touched somebody.
No, well, he made him feel vulnerable. I know his home life because I know his parents and his brothers. Yeah. So we would get in fights it was all the time, right? But he was like a lot bigger than me and he was really fast, right? I mean, one of those guys that can rabbit punch, right? It just like, and he's fighting his brother at home all the time, and his father was abusive, and so I mean, this is the kid that you think, this is the country kid equivalent of the kid who grows up on, in the abusive household in the urban slums, right?
Right.
Except it's not a slum and it's not a city, it's just a farm kid, right?
Yeah.
And you just I just didn't see it as anything abnormal. It was just part of life. And it makes you tough, right? I mean, it makes you resilient. And the thing I like most about it, as I learned with fights as a kid, is that, first of all, it makes other guys respect you. It's not about fear. It's just respect. The other thing is that it will, when you fight somebody, there's this weird reconciliation that happens because you fought. And it's like, okay, I know who you are. I know where we are in the pack. You're up ahead of me. I'm not. But then there's no fight anymore.
No need.
Was really,
we got it all sorted out.
Yeah. And it was like, but the whole trick is you can't be I'm not naturally afraid. Does that make sense? I just don't want to do it. And you can't let those guys think you're afraid. So just go fucking all in and give it everything you got, right? I used to, I was quite fit as a kid. And what happened was I matured early. I had a freaking beard when I was in 7th grade. I mean, a beard, but I mean, I had full facial hair in 7th grade and 8th grade. My chest was hairy, So I matured very quickly. So I didn't get high, but I got strong early. So it was just a matter of, if I can get you on the ground, still, it's hard to be a nerd. It was hard. The trade-off is today, it's easy to be a nerd.
Yeah.
And then it was like asking for it.
Right.
Anyway, I didn't mean to go sideways on you there.
That's all right.
It's just this ongoing essay of when I was a boy, but I mean, this is one of those things that really made a difference. And I know that for my father's generation, it was more so. And for his father's generation, it was more so. I'm like, well, there's a trend here, but there's a point at which a trend becomes a failure point. And we're definitely there, because the guys are checking out of society because they've lost, because we have to compete in order to give a shit about something.